Hey, brother. How
Hi.
are you doing?
Very nice meeting you again.
Pleasure is
Hi,
mine.
hi.
Pleasure is mine. How's everything?
Everything is going nice in Dubai. How
Yeah.
can things go bad here, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it's a beautiful environment with a lot of vibrant atmosphere. So
Yeah.
in the business-wise, this is the best place on the planet at the
Oh,
moment.
for sure. I
That's
cannot
why.
be more than agree with that.
Yes.
I was trying to get you to this podcast quite some time already.
Yeah,
Because
we've been busy cooking some stuff in our kitchen to make sure that
Yeah. Because I remember during our last time when we were talking, we found like a lot of synergies out there
Yes.
for the podcast, and not only
Definitely.
the podcast.
Yes,
And
we're here.
regarding your mission, then I went to and start checking all your achievements to like give some sort of explanation for the viewers what's going on. You are chairman of Solar Hero.
Yes.
You founded Trading Hive.
Yes.
You win Energy Globe Award.
Yes. This was one of my biggest achievements so far.
Yeah, damn. You co-founded a Venice City initiative that is trying to address the whole climate challenges that we are facing worldwide right now.
Yes.
Can you give us a short, like, brief overview about all of your like past decade or 2 decades work? How you like you juggled a lot between different projects, and
For
it's
sure.
quite
A lot of
interesting.
failures as every
Absolutely.
great entrepreneur is
Yeah.
fast happening for sure. Actually, I started my career in research and development of renewable energies because I was really enthusiastic about the change that we can achieve as in a global pace and as humanity. And renewable energy, I think, is one of the greatest innovation hub currently on the planet, because to drive humanity forward, we really need to tackle many challenges by climate change. We need to adapt to systemic changes. And as an innovative mind, I was always into innovation. So I could never start a business what already been out for a long time. I had to innovate in all of my career. So I started in solar energy business and research and development. We developed like floating solar panels, like integrating solar cells into new materials. It was a material science, and a lot of new innovation popped out of this journey. And the main course was to really make impact. So somehow money for me never been so interesting. The bigger achievements and the impact was like my driving force always. And if you like put a bigger picture front of you than money, I think money will always follow you. So this is one of the greatest advice I can give to the listeners, because to the viewers, because I think money is just a tool. But if you don't have a proper plan, what do you want to build? It's useless. So I rather focus on a big plan, on a big achievement, and to make an impactful investment, and money will follow you if you are like really dedicated to your goal. So renewable energy was my starting point. I really wanted to make change. But sooner or later, I realized that actually technology, what I was really purely focusing on itself, cannot solve all of the problems. Because
Why?
I realized 90% of our population is living under $30 a day. How can you expect people adopting life-changing technologies without being able to pay for it, right? So somehow technology is one thing. And the sad thing is that we already have the technology already developed 10 years ago to stop climate change, or at least slow down climate change by 90%. It's more about governmental and systemic decisions and financial empowerment. Because as long as people suffer on a day-to-day basis, they will never have enough financial power to invest into such technologies. So I slowly realized this harsh truth, and I slowly started to transition from purely technological perspective to a more systemic approach. And that's how I transitioned my career and myself into financial technologies, to FinTech. And that's how we met, and that's how we started to collaborate.
What's your mission right now?
To make change, to make impact. This is
That's
still
the global
number
mission.
one. Yeah. It's a global mission, and I really believe that satisfies me, because if I leave something behind that still like exists after I'm
Legacy.
This is real the true power of everything I'm doing, the true fuel that everything.
You're still planning to at some point go back to solar energy business and
I
continue your
I still
achievements?
own these companies, but and I still have a bigger picture for that. But right now we're really focusing on the financial empowerment part of it. And we have big innovations, big patents. We developed a cryogenic power plant, what is really a game changer.
What is it?
Yeah, it's hard to explain in a simple terms.
Try to keep it as simple
for
as
sure,
possible.
for sure.
Imagine I'm a dummy person.
Yes. Our physicists developed a thermodynamic process what can turn heat into electricity, what is really a core solution for the upcoming climate crisis that we are facing. Because global warming is happening because of the greenhouse gases trapping the heat coming from the sun. Usually the heat coming from the sun should reflect back to space. But since we are emitting also a lot of greenhouse gases, these greenhouse gases blocking the heat to revert back to space. So this is like, let's say it's a balloon that we are blowing, and we can really reach a tipping point when it just bursts. So somehow we need to find a way how to turn heat into something else, how to cool down the planet itself. But it's not just the only problem. The sun is the biggest heat source.
Yeah.
But every innovation, every invention, every energy source we ever tried and invented on planet, it's releasing waste heat to the environment. All the combustion engines of the cars, 70% of the energy that the petrol cars are using is released as waste heat through their exhaust pipes. So we are like toasting the environment from both sides, from the top and from the bottom. So there is a huge amount of energy available as heat into the atmosphere, what we can transform into electricity with the thermodynamic process. And this cryogenic power plant is a standalone unit. We can put it into uninhabitable desert areas, and because if the temperature is higher above 20 degrees Celsius, this machine can turn it into electricity using a liquid nitrogen evaporation process. So the liquid nitrogen is flowing through a coil system, and the desert heat is blown into that coil evaporators, and this will make the air to cool down, what can generate a lot of condensation water. So one machine can produce cold air because the exhaust part of the system will be free cooling, produce water to irrigation or to supply water for drinkable water, fresh water, and also electricity. So as climate change gets worse, I think this can be one of the life rafts for areas what we can tackle.
But why we can't like plant a lot of trees?
Trees are also solving a lot of problems because they act as a carbon sink, and that's how Venus City comes into play, because we are merging the two things together, but we don't have enough time to plant just regular tree species. That's why we are working together with the German science lab, who developed the genetically modified special tree species, what can grow like 10 times faster and sequence more carbon than any other tree species itself. So we are trying to combine the cryogenic power plant with these fast-growing tree species to provide enough solution and the fast enough solution to create the next generation of sustainable cities. Because from the trees, you can manufacture CLT, cross-laminated timber. And the cross-laminated timber, you can search online. This is an amazing building technology, and it can actually act as a carbon sink. So in our building walls, we can store carbon. And in the meanwhile, the cryogenic power plant can cool these buildings, because they are not going to use electricity for cooling. It's a byproduct of the thermodynamic process. The cryogenic power plant can provide electricity for those buildings and fresh water, for example, for vertical gardening.
How long are you working in that field only?
10 years.
10 years only on that?
Yes.
Was it hard to shift to completely new technology?
The hard part was to have the bold vision, just to keep invest money and time into it, because we are still at the patent phase. Imagine 10 years of research and development to file a patent. Yeah. So to get to the prototype phase and to get to actual execution of the project, I think it's a lifetime, but it works. Elon Musk once said it's not only the only job is to get the ball to the goal line, right? It's just to move down the ball on the field. So I really resonate with this sentence because I feel like my job is also, I might be not the one who gets to the point, but if I can move the ball down the field, I will be satisfied.
So you're more considering yourself as a pathfinder.
Yes.
In some sort of way.
Definitely, yeah.
Wow. And okay, you did it 10 years. You spend a lot of time,
Yes.
a lot of effort.
Yes.
And of course, probably your own money also.
Yes, only my money.
Only
Like
your
corporate assets, yeah.
Corporate
but our
assets.
Company's assets, yes.
All right. And was it hard to?
Yeah.
It's because it is some sort of way not giving up, but changing the priorities when you're shifting your narrative, right? You left that at least for some couple of years.
Yes.
Hopefully months.
Yes.
To go back there, and you're shifting it, and it can feel like a bit hard because you spend 10 years, you spend a lot of money, and you have to move over.
Yeah.
How do you handle it?
I don't have to move over because what I gained from renewable energy is what I'm utilizing right now in financial technologies. And this is our unique USP. Because
explain to me.
Yes, because in research and development, innovation is the driving force, right?
Absolutely.
And for renewable energy, resilient business structure is the must. So combining these two with financial technologies, it's something that I never really seen before. Because in trading, for example, retail trading, resilient structures are not the scope of the project, right? And also sustainable business structures are not something that people are looking for. So when you've seen a lot of scams and a lot of one-man show companies that they were appearing on the horizon and then they were vanished in like a week, or rug pulled the whole project itself. So resilience in crypto, in trading, is not something that people, the founders, were really looking for, like just a very few of them. And innovation in retail Forex prop trading was really not something that was happening in the couple of years, because even if this industry is appeared like 50 years ago, for example, when on Wall Street people started to trade on the retail side, it's the systems that they use, the softwares that they use, it's quite outdated. So as a fresh mind coming into this era, like 3 years ago, I started to really focusing on the development of the TradingHive Group. And the first thing I did was analyzing the market, analyzing the pain points, analyzing really the customers' feedback. So I entered into many groups and chats and reviewed all the comments of the traders who've been left behind by companies, who've been scammed by companies. So I really think to enter a market, you really have to listen to the market itself to pull something out as a solution. So I think the approach, what I gained from renewable energy and the research and development is helping us a lot to provide real, sustainable, and resilient solutions for the fintech era.
What's the hardest lesson that you learned when it comes balancing bold vision and your day-to-day execution? Because despite all of that, you have to have some, how to call it? It will take time, and you should be as humble as possible. Just keep your head down and working. But at the same time, you're visionary. If you're a visionary person, it can make a lot of troubles for you, right?
Yeah. The hardest part, I think, is to find the right team. Like, this is the hardest part for me, like what I was like facing many times for different projects. And I am really happy because for TradingHive Group, like, I believe we have the best team ever. Our co-founders and directors, they are like really specialized and professional on their fields. We can introduce them into next podcast. I would be happy to invite them. So I think an idea is just 10% of a successful story. And execution is another 90. And if I split the execution part, it's at least 50% is the team. The rest is like the business setup and investors and the money source and like different like smaller parts. But the team is the core. Once you have a great idea and once you have a great team behind it who believes in the idea and who believes in the vision, I don't think that you can ever fail.
How did you find this right person?
I believe in the universe, by the way, so you don't really have to look on force things. So if life is not giving you signals that you are going into the right direction, you are probably not. So I really believe that if something's gonna happen, it will happen, and it happened. So throughout small coincidences, sometimes we sit down and just think about like how many coincidences had to happen in order to be together as a team. So you're just gonna feel it when you meet the right people. And you need to keep believing in people, because sometimes you are not meeting the right people and you can have like a lot of bad experience from your past. But you really need to keep your heart open and look for new participants and challenges.
I don't remember who said it, that your first hirings, like your first partners, then your first employees is not actually the employees. Like first 10 employees is not your employees. That like the foundational people, treat them as a family, because they are the ones who are going to build your whole business idea at the end of the day, right? Because despite all of our talent and stuff, we can't do multiple things at the same time. It's a hard lesson, but I myself learned that also. Multitasking is some sort of myth when it comes to this type of things, right?
Yeah. And it's also the hardest part of being a leader is to not do everything by yourself, because when you have the knowledge, it's easy to overwhelm yourself with all the small tasks, but you have to have the time to teach your team members, to teach your colleagues, your employees on even doing smaller tasks. It's gonna take you more time, because you could done it in like matter of minutes instead of explaining it to someone, overview their work, review it, and then like rebalancing or fixing the other issues. But it's an investment. So you have to invest money, you have to invest time into your team, and it will pay off.
Yeah. Now, you touched already the FundedHive Group and TradingHive thing.
Yeah.
And as far as I understood, it's prop trading only as of now, right? Can you explain to me what is prop trading actually means?
I want to like clarify about the TradingHive Group is actually the group name, and FundedHive is our first venture. And FundedHive is a proprietary trading firm, but not a regular one. It's the world's first Web3-based, blockchain-based Forex prop firm. So proprietary trading is a quite common verb in institutional trading. So when banks were trading with their own money, it was called proprietary trading. But like 10 years ago, a company called FTMO came up with an idea that institutional prop trading can be somehow transitioned into retail. And they created the so-called challenges. So throughout these challenges, these evaluation processes, they were evaluating traders, giving them demo accounts. And if the traders provided good risk management skills and good profitable trading strategies, they allocated funds from their own capital to provide it to the traders. And after, based on their agreement, the trader gets a profit split, but all the risk is on the proprietary trading firm. So this is the best thing what could happen to the traders, because even if you have the best trading strategy on the planet, but if you don't have enough capital, you cannot execute it, right? Because if you can make 10% a month consistent profits, but if you don't have the right amount of capital, just $1,000, $100 will not sustain your trading career, right?
Yeah.
So, but risking your own capital, like even if you gained like $100,000 from your previous businesses or from your family funds, it's not something that you want to risk on the markets, because it's very important. This is the Wild West. So on the market, anything can happen. A black swan event can happen, can wipe off brokers, wipe off all the trading accounts. So trading is risky. Any broker, and on any broker's website, if you visit, there are like huge disclaimers about 80%, 90% of the traders, they lose money, and your full money is at risk. You have to accept these risk disclaimers. But when proprietary prop trading firms appeared on the horizon, they gave a peace of mind to the traders, because you have to purchase these challenges. So you have to pay money to participate in these evaluation processes. And if you lose, that's the only money you can lose. So this is like really limiting the loss percentage of the traders, but giving them higher money, higher capital to execute their trading strategies. So once you buy a challenge, for example, for $200-300, you can get $100,000 evaluation challenge. You pass 1 or 2 phases, depends on the company's terms and conditions. And if you pass, you gained enough profit, then you get a funded account. A funded account is a real trading account, still on the demo environment, but the company in the backend is executing it in a best scenario. We will talk about this A and B booking of the clients, but they execute it on the market. So actually the profit is gained and you can get a profit split out of it. So if you make like 10% a month, you can make $10,000 on a 100K account easily if your strategy is right.
So basically, prop trading in some sort of way helps traders to like enter to more bigger market.
Yes.
With small cap.
It also helps the retail trading industry to grow exponentially, because before it was limited. You had to have the knowledge and you have to have the money, but it was very limited by regions and by percentage of the population who can have both of the things together. Trading is one of the most difficult thing as a job you can find, because it triggers all of your emotions. It really, like, you have to control your mindset. You need to be like best of your best self.
Cold-hearted as possible.
Yes. But it's like, if you get the taste of it, it's something that will really stick around for a lifetime, I believe.
Is there any difference between, like, despite the main challenge concept and the concept of traders earning more money with less risk?
Yeah.
What's the difference between, for example, futures, if we're talking about, for example, crypto trading?
Yeah. Crypto trading is a little bit different than CFD, like Forex trading, because the volatility daily, it's much bigger. And also the influence of some influencers posting about some projects can completely ruin your strategy. So I think Forex trading is a more strategic approach. So for technical analysis, you can really have an edge over the market. But for crypto, it's more like about the fundamentals. You have to follow more like the news, and you need to be into separate groups of crypto influencers to get the information as soon as possible.
It's more like insider trading.
Yes. So I believe in crypto technology, but I never invest into crypto. I believe that it's too out of my control. So I like to rely on technical analysis and things that controlled by governments, rather than people of a small group of people who pulled out a project, because you've seen like many companies rug pulled clients' money. There are a lot of legal cases still going on. And I think it's against the resilience. It's against what I've learned from renewable energy. So that's why we are coming and bringing TradingHive Group into this field, because when we were thinking about how we should innovate, how we should come up with something new in the trading field, we were analyzing other societal structures. And we found out that the bees, the honeybees, are the most efficient social structure nature has ever created. For 100 million years, the hive was providing a shelter for the bees to survive. They survived like many climate changes on this planet. They survived like a lot of challenges, but to collaboratively work together, to share resources, and to not cheat each other is interwoven into their nature. So when we realized this, we should create something like a digital hive. And that's how we touched and realized that blockchain is the only way that we can achieve it. Because the hive itself sustaining and providing a platform for bees to provide resources and to distribute the resources. And in this way, they can thrive. But it will never happen that one bee is cheating another bee to get more honey.
How?
But because it's interwoven into their nature, because they are not working for the honey, they are working for the hive to sustain the hive.
we're talking about bees, and you're absolutely right. What about human beings?
I think
Because
our nature is
yeah,
also not bad, right? I was born in 1991, and when I was born, there was a shift in Europe about the communism into this new era that we are having now. But the elder engineers who worked beside me always told me that before two men shaking a hand, that was a sign of a deal. That was a smart contract of that era. It was irreplaceable. It was something that you could really trust. But somehow in my generation, I never experienced it. So now we have a lot of like lengthy contracts about like all the details of a partnership, and most of the time they're useless. Most of the time the party is going to have fights. The courts are more busier than ever about deciding who has a right to do what. And somehow this technological era is disrupted us of becoming our true nature. But blockchain provides us a new solution to tackle these trust issues. And when I found out that smart contracts developed an Ethereum network, that was the first time. It was 2015, I guess, when they were introduced. Can be really coded in a way to be or act like as a digital hive, because smart contracts are automatically executing contracts. So the both party who is entering or who are entering these contracts are aware of the facts and the terms and the conditions. And when they sign it with their wallets, the contract will execute itself without anyone being able to manipulate the terms and conditions. So once we realized that we need to create a digital hive, we found out that the blockchain technology and the smart contracts are the way forward, because it's completely transparent. It's a trustless ecosystem. So the trust issues are completely eliminated in this. So that's how we wrote the smart hive contract. And that's the backbone of our proprietary trading for FundedHive, because all the payouts, all the challenge fees, everything is completely automated and logged into the smart contract and fully transparent. So we provide instant payouts to traders, what was never introduced before. And we can now shift into the problems a little bit, because
is it a deal breaker? Instant payout?
Instant payouts, not a deal breaker. It was never introduced before by prop firms. All the payouts are processed between 24 hours to 2 weeks. And this is like one of the big problems. So I told you before that 10 years ago, a company, Czech company, introduced retail prop trading. So the concept was there. Since then, every other company is actually copying their business model. But the big problem, again, the scams, 80% of these companies use this business model to build up a Ponzi. So they rely on failed challenges. They don't want to evaluate the traders. They don't want traders to pass the challenges. They don't want successful traders because their only income source is the challenge fee. So when you pass a challenge, then you become funded, then the company needs to provide funding for you, right? But they don't want to do that. They just want to cover the winner traders from the losers. And this is a very bad approach, because it has nothing to do with sustainability, to resilient business structures. And that's how we felt like we have to come into this field. And we prioritized TradingHive Group. We'll have a lot of ventures, like at least 6 of companies I already designed and under development. But we felt like the most urgent one that we had to put out, it was the prop firm, because most of the prop firms are operating only a centralized approach. So you can't see how much money they have to pay you. You can't see even if they have any money to pay you. You can't see if they ever paid out a trader. And also the funded traders are receiving so-called like certificates through their achievements. So when you become funded, you get a JPEG picture, what has your name and a QR code on it. And once you become funded, you get like a chance to trade on live accounts, and you can get a payout. And this payout is also a certification. It's a picture, but you never know if that people is existed, that transaction was truly done. So it provides a ground for a lot of scams to appear. And we were really sad when we've been into different groups and we've seen like hundreds and thousands of traders being victims of these firms. They were like purchasing these challenges, they passed the challenge, and after the firms have like terms and conditions, 20 pages with a lot of rules that are like shady, and only a reason is to be in the contract is to avoid your payout. So with this FundedHive, SmartHive contract, we eliminated all of these risks for traders. Everything is transparent, everything is logged into the blockchain, so it's immortalized and completely trustable.
And I believe you're using also the NFT scheme
Yes.
as a certification.
Yes, that's why, because these JPEGs are useless, because I can put any name on it, I can put any QR code on it, I can put any amount on it that we paid you, $100,000 as a trader, we can share it online, and many traders will see that, oh, this firm pays out, this was a huge payout, so they will flock to our company, and then the company will not pay them.
But you can do the same thing with NFTs. How you're going to ensure that it's like trustful?
Yeah, because it's on the blockchain, so it's between the wallets. So once the NFT is minted, it has the owner, and the owner has the transaction before by the challenge. And once we make a payout, this is completely visible on chain, so you can track the payout itself on Etherscan, for example.
Does it actually like? It is tackling a lot of problems, as far as I understood, especially with the trading. But the same time, based on what you told me, this means that to someone to enter the Trading Hive, to FundedHive as a trader, they could only interact with blockchain.
Yes.
There is no way to come up with fiat.
No, we cut out the middleman completely. Like 1.5 years ago, like 50% of the prop firms went bankrupt because there was a company, there is still a company, one of the biggest technological platform provider, MetaCodes, providing a platform called MetaTrader, MT4, MT5. And they were signing agreements with brokers, and these brokers white labeled, like offered sub-licenses to many prop firms. And MetaCodes didn't know about these prop firms at all. They thought that they were just providing technology for the main brokers, but the main brokers provided sublease agreements to hundreds of prop firms. And when MetaCodes found it out, they withdrew the licenses from these companies, and from one day to another, they completely went bankrupt. So this is like really a big problem that was happening in the industry, and we're really trying to find a solution, alternative solution, that it can never happen in the future.
What about the so-called on-ramping thing, where people can actually spend fiat but got crypto, in this case, I believe, either Ethereum or stable coins to join the FundedHive?
We had to cut out the middleman, as I said, because also one problem or one issue of these companies going bankrupt was the licensing. It was not clear and not regulated. The other issue was the PSPs, the payment providers. So through payment providers, your funds can be frozen for any reason, and you don't have the capital to pay out your traders, then your company is going down because the trust is lost. So that's why we were like, we spent 2.5 years developing FundedHive. There are many companies promoting you can open your prop firm in 7 days. I don't recommend go for this way. And the saddest part of the story that they even advise you that you don't need the capital. So imagine that you can open a bank giving loans to people, but you can open a bank in 7 days without the capital. So like this way of approaching prop trading will only result into failures and more victims of these scams. So we spent 2.5 years of research and development and found out that the blockchain is the only way to provide a tamper-proof environment for traders. And this is a completely middleman-free solution. So once you process your payout, the smart contract releases it to your wallet right away. You don't have to be approved by anyone else. So in this way, tackling these two challenges, we can provide the safest and most secure environment for traders.
Could this model be expanded beyond just standard prop trading?
For sure. Smart contracts are changing the game for many different areas. For example, I can also imagine insurance companies are coming out with smart contracts where you don't have to wait for a lengthy approval processes. You just pay your insurance monthly for the smart contract, and once something happens, there is a fast check from a professional to analyze the loss of the damage. And once it's analyzed, you press a button and the smart contract releases the funds of the insurance company to your account. So to speed up the process and to generate more trust into different areas.
Do you think that it will last longer, this whole decentralization thing? I think at some point, big players, big companies, politicians, and countries, I mean, they're already trying to regulate it in a sort of way. And we have US with their own policies, and we have the rest of the world.
I think regulations are a key part of providing a great infrastructure for innovation. It's just the matter of the intuition behind why they want to regulate. If they want to get back their centralized power without actually helping the ecosystem to grow, that's a bad thing. But I feel like, especially in the UAE, they are really supportive for the cryptocurrencies and all these blockchain startups. And I think this approach to have a centralized control, but in the same time also provide a great environment for innovations to flourish, I think it can be a great way of the centralized
What's the
solution.
Global market cap of prop trading?
It's about 6-7 billion at the moment.
6-7 billion.
Yes, but it keeps growing. By 2030, it's estimated about 20 billion worldwide. As I told you, it's a game changer for traders because they don't have to risk their own capital. So they can really purely focus on their strategy. If there are enough trustable firms out there, this market can grow exponentially because more and more people are transitioning from different kind of professional jobs to trading. Because for trading, what you need after you have the knowledge, you need a stable internet connection and the device. Yeah. Because everything is online. So you can be beside the beach or beside the pool and spend like 2-3 hours a day analyzing the markets and executing trades. So if your strategy is in place and if you are working with a trustable and a good proprietary trading firm, nothing can really go wrong on the long term. So AI is replacing a lot of jobs, as we all know. And this will result into a huge transition from other industries to proprietary trading, in my opinion. So I think it has a great future.
It's not a threat for prop trading because there are a lot of AI models and bots who are doing basically the market analysis and doing a great job for that.
I believe that there are some great trading bots, but if there are, they've never been advertised. So when you open your social media, you probably also came across some advertisements of you can gain 300% of profits in a month by using our algorithm. Don't fall into this kind of marketing. In order to make 300% gain on your capital, you must have to overexpose your risk. So trading is about risk and reward ratios. So once you have a good strategy, you have to have the best risk management set up to execute it. And you cannot gain millions from one day to another. It's impossible.
Unless you're an insider.
But it's very hardly regulated by SEC or other firms. And you can end up in jail really easily.
Yeah. And I'll assume the biggest market in terms of the users is US again.
Yes. Yes, the US market is huge. Prop trading is unregulated. I just want to make it clear. Okay. So proprietary trading is an unregulated area of the Forex trading environment. I think it needs regulation in the near future. And these regulations needs to really point out and fight against these companies who are really looking for just to scam people out of their money. But currently is unregulated. So companies can offer different services across the planet, just not in sanctioned countries. And if the KYC of the client is making sure that they are not involved into money laundering, they are able to participate into these kind of activities.
But if US has the biggest number in terms of users,
yes,
that means that there is something that despite it's not regulated, US is much more ahead of Europe and the other world. That basically leads us to some sort of IT technological stagnation that is happening, probably. I don't know. You tell me for that part, because when it comes to more engineering, I can tell, all big company, all big tech is always in US, sometimes Western Europe, but that's it.
So the platform providers, the two biggest one is MetaQuotes, MetaTrader MT4, MT5, and CTrader. Both of these platforms decided when this unregulated licensing thing happened 1.5 years ago, and it was a huge crash in the market, they both decided to withdraw all of their activities from proprietary trading firms in the US. Probably it was guidance from the SEC. No one really knows what was the communication between the regulators and these platform providers, but they are not providing solutions for US residents at the moment. Probably they are waiting for a clear regulation to roll out, and that's why they are not providing services at the moment. This slowing down the market, but many companies are finding other platforms or other solutions to find US clients and to serve US clients.
And what about TradingHive? I know that we're in Dubai, so that leads me to the idea that you are planning to be more international.
Yes.
And get access to everyone.
Yes, we already have different companies. We have a New York-based Trading Hive Incorporation. We have a Trading Hive registered in the IFC in Dubai. We have a brokerage license in St. Lucia, and we have many more companies in the horizon providing the services. And I also want to recap. FundedHive is a DAC. It's a decentralized autonomous corporation. So we were the first proprietary trading firm who is offering blockchain-based solutions and operating as a DAC. So it's really similar DAOs, but a DAOs doesn't have a board, right? But we do have a board, we do have managers. So it's the decentralized autonomous corporation model, what can really mitigate many regulation problems that can appear in the future. So since we are fully transparent, every transaction is visible. Even if a regulation rolls out, every regulatory can see all of our books without even asking us. They can just go on our website. Everything is fully transparent. They can see any wallets, what time they purchased, which services they purchased, what payouts they received. So I think this approach can really lead to clearing the industry.
So basically, you are making sure that everything as transparent as possible.
This is the only way to achieve the future that I'm dreaming about.
And what about, sooner or later, there will be some sort of pressure in terms of regulations to all of us.
We are happy to see that, and we're happy to contribute with regulatory bodies. Our corporate partners and funding partners were really working together with governments, and we will introduce them definitely in the next podcast. One of them was the ex-director of the Abu Dhabi National Bank, for example. So working together with regulators and institutional partners is really something that the knowledge we have on board. So we are happy to work together with any regulatory body to roll out something that can serve the traders. Because the traders' first initiative is also provided by CTrader, the platform we are using to execute the trades. is really something that we can resonate with. And if the platform and also the company has the same vision to provide a secure environment for traders, this is something that no regulatory body can say no to, in my honest opinion.
I know that we are talking about blockchain, and it's quite understandable that it's transparent as is secure as possible, but we're talking about the blockchain, which is behind the Trading Hive.
Yes.
And you're the ones who basically making sure that there are security guarantees for trading bees.
Yes.
How are you going to do that?
Yes. We integrated MetaMask wallets into the process, because the biggest bottleneck, honestly, what we have is most of the traders who are currently participating into prop trading, they are not really into blockchain or crypto. There are some percentage of the clients, our target market, who are aware of the Web3 era, but there are dozens of people who are not aware of these solutions. So we were searching for a trustable third-party solution for the wallet integrations, because we didn't want to control clients' wallets because of trust issues at the first hand. So we found MetaMask as a one-stop solution for everything. You can easily on-ramp. You asked this question. For on-ramping, means you can exchange your fiat into USDT, USDC, depends on your jurisdiction. You can find which stable coins are better for you. And once you on-ramp with MetaMask portfolio, for example, it's an easy process. We have a step-by-step guide on our website, so you can easily transition your fiat capital into stable coins and participate in our Web3 smart contracts.
Is there any chance that, in terms of technology, not in terms of idea, it can actually fail?
Which the FundedHive concept. We made it as secure as possible. So we execute trades in ebook execution, and we are rolling out some really big announcement next month. I can give you a sneak peek about it. As I told you, we realized that prop firm companies are living off challenges. And nowadays, every time you open your phone, and if you're following these companies, every time a new firm appears, copying the old same model that was designed 10 years ago. So these companies are interested into loser traders losing their challenge fees. So they are living off the challenge fees. So we were trying to innovate the whole process from the blockchain and the Web3 perspective, and also come up with some new business model. It's called trade first, pay later, or pay after you pass. We are still discussing which one is more descriptive for this solution. So we designed a new system where you only pay for your funded account after you pass the challenge. This is a game changer, because now traders don't pay for challenge fees. They just pay a small activation or access fee for their accounts, what is covering the cost of the accounts for the liquidity providers, for the platforms that they are using, for the customer support, for our dealing team. So every cost that we have from this one account, we created an access fee, what is the lowest barrier of the whole trading, prop trading industry. So even like developing countries can participate into this. And it's really touching my heart, because we receive some videos from really poor areas of the planet, and they are like sending us videos about like FundedHive is a game changer for them, because they've been scammed by other firms before, but they were able to participate in our beta launch. It was a huge success for us. We provided 1,000 free beta challenge accounts, $25,000 challenge accounts, and almost 5,000 traders registered in our beta phase. They took like all the 1,000 accounts, and we received so many gratitude from these videos, what is actually really great help of fueling our future. So we are very happy to introduce a new trading model, because as I told you, this prop firm industry was developed like 10 years ago, and the same business model is being copied like multiple times across different companies. But true business model innovation was not really pulled off for quite a long time. And as I told you, the prop firms are interested in traders' failures. So when the trader is purchasing a challenge, the company's interest to make them fail. That's why 95% of the sold challenges are actually going to result as a failure, and only 5% of the customers end up with the funded accounts. This is really heartbreaking because there are tons of clients, many millions of clients out there trading from low-income countries, from developing countries, and they can somehow borrow money to buy such a challenge. And after falling as a victim of such a scamming solution, this is not something that we should support or we should have to grow. So the trade first, pay later business model is only providing a great solution for e-book execution. So what the current prop firm industry is doing is actually you trade on these challenge accounts, you get funded, and most of the times they put you into B-book. B-book means they're not executing your trades because the losing rate of the challenge fees are so high that the money that they collect from the losing challenges, it's enough to cover the winners. So in this way, they don't have to execute the trades to the market because they always have positive cash flow. In this way, they can provide the payouts to the clients. If this ratio is changing, then they are looking for any excuse to ban the payouts for the clients. But if we transition this business model into our new trade first, pay later one, then we don't collect challenge fees from the clients. We only collect a small account access fee from every trader, what is covering the liquidity provider cost, the trading platform cost, the customer support, and our dealing team's actual cost of it to that account. This means we don't have the capital to provide payouts to the clients. The only way is to execute the funded traders' trades in an e-book execution. And e-book means we're actually executing and sending these trades through our liquidity providers to the market. So our company income or our profit, it relies in the profit share of the e-book executed trades. In this way, we can have a sustainable and a resilient business structure and provide the lowest entry barrier for traders. So we really
But you're
believe,
providing the main cash flow.
yes,
Through, as a company.
Yes, with our liquidity providers.
Yes. And if they win, they're taking their share, you're taking yours as like a sponsor.
Yes. We also have raw spreads because the spread manipulation spread is a markup. So when the liquidity provider is providing a pricing fee to you, as a brokerage, you will add a profit on it. And with the markup, that's called a spread, you will provide it to your clients. So when a client is making a trade on a Euro USD, for example, the price that they see and the price that you have from your liquidity provider has a slight difference. And since it's CFD, it's over the counter. So there are no centralized charting of this system. That means every brokerage can have a slightly different pricing chart for the same currency pair that the traders are trading. But this also gives a lot of room for manipulation.
Oh, for sure.
Because they can slip your account and your position a little bit up or down based on where your stop loss is at. And that can trigger your losses. But that's why we decided to completely do raw spreads. That means the same institutional level pricing model that we receive from our top prime brokers. And that's the actual price that you will receive. So this will leave no room for manipulation of the price.
So you're basically building as unbreakable solution as possible.
We are trying to make a redemption and a movement in this field.
Yeah, because when it comes, for example, crypto and trading, it's a nightmare. Like there are a lot of stories how people lost a huge amount of money. And there are stories how people gain a lot of money by just buying, for example, Bitcoin from one centralized exchange from US and selling it in China-based centralized exchange where the prices differs.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there are like a lot of, I would say, horror stories, how people like gamble everything on crypto and lost everything, and they're like basically lost any.
It's very hard. It's heartbreaking because we are once a hive together. So I really see, we also have a video posted on our social accounts that humanity can be seen as one hive and all the planet from outside, from space, looks like a calm planet. But when you zoom in to like mega cities, like megapolises, like Dubai itself, you see like cars are like bees, you know, like flying around and buzzing every day. So our ecosystem can be really seen from a high perspective or a high point of view as a hive. So having these scams and sad stories about companies and families are losing everything, it's really something that cannot support the future of humanity.
But this is basically your, can we call it like a second international business? Because in the solar business, you also worked in Hungary and in Germany.
Germany, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There, I want to understand what is like one thing that you can tell about doing international entrepreneurship and having business that is spreading in a global way.
Yes. It was always my dream to not have a physical product, because the physical product have a lot of disadvantages and limitations, because you need to have a transportation cost, you need to have a warehouse, you need to have a shipping companies, you are dealing with manufacturers, you are dealing with the whole supply chain. So there are tons of things that can go wrong. So my dream was always to have a digital product that can make impact, that can solve a lot of problems for our population, and can also generate profits that we can reinvest into new innovations, like developing the cryogenic power plant that I was just mentioning at the beginning.
And when it comes to entrepreneurship and business leadership, what you've learned by doing international businesses, and because it's quite important, because you did and you're doing two completely different businesses in completely different industries, and both have very powerful story behind it, and quite powerful and quite impressive at the same time. And I'm trying to understand what will be that one lesson or guidance that you can give someone who wants to do like the international business like you.
Yes, I think you must gain some experience before going to international seas. It's like learning how to drive a boat, how to sail on waters. First you go for a lake, and then you try to have a small raft to have a sail around. But then as you gain more experience, then you can go to an open sea, for example. So I really see that the experience needs to be there, because when you step into international businesses and you're running corporations in different countries, the amount of problems or the amount of things that can go wrong are multiplying. So first you need to gain the experience locally. That's my advice. And once you gain the experience, once you failed, and once you stood up and did it again, then you're probably ready for some international challenges. But for me, this is a game changer. So what also Dubai offers with all these multicultural solutions, that you can like leave your houses open, leave the cars open and running on the street. This is really something that gives a lot of hope back to me, and that we have a great future.
Yeah, totally agree with that part. There is some specific question, and it wasn't about the Trading Hive. It was about your journey, because you mentioned almost multiple times about the existence of failure and how big it is.
Many.
Yeah. What is the biggest failure that you had that like drastically changed all your overview?
Yes, there were many. There were many failures. Since I was in research and development, so when you believe in a project and when you invest a lot of time and effort into this will always be a project with uncertain outcome. So I had many failures of trying to research and develop, for example, a vertical wind turbine. We spent hundreds of thousands of euros, 2 years, focusing on this solution. The design was awesome. I had a great idea for the design, and then I hired engineers to like engineer all the parts. And we were like so overwhelmed about the outcome that actually 2 years of work and the design of it was perfect. And the materials we used from aerospace industry and from space technologies. So we believed that it will work. But after we installed it, it was 2 meters by 2 meters, quite a big machine. It was a vertical wind turbine. We installed it on a household roof, and there was a windy day, and it was spinning like really fast, like 180 RPM. But it was, by a visible eye, it was like really spinning, and it was amazing to see. But at the moment we connected a 60 watts of light bulb, it generated such a force that it completely stopped the machine. We were destroyed when we realized that a 60 watt of light bulb was actually stopping the machine, because we really tried to make it in a smaller version, like 2 meters by 2 meters. It's actually quite big, but based on the industrial wind turbines with the 30-meter wingspan, it was quite a small equipment. And we were planning to install it on households to provide a hybrid solution, wind and solar generation. So when the sun is down, it's nighttime, but the wind is blowing, we can also power homes with it. But we realized it was a big failure, because under 30 meters of height, you cannot really provide such a small equipment to work efficiently.
And is the greatest one?
One of the greatest, yes.
One of the greatest.
Yes,
How many of them are?
My greatest failure was my first company. I invested into a UAV, like unmanned aerial vehicle company, like drone company.
All right.
They were designing special drones, and this drone technology was way ahead of its time. So it was like 15 years ago. I was like really young entrepreneur. I tried to make a platform to combine innovations with investors. And I found this company, I invested it, and I became the marketing leader for the company. So we designed the brand and everything, and I found a company in Europe who is providing satellite electronics and manufacturing satellite electronics. So they integrated a 1 million euro worth of electronics into the drone body that we were manufacturing. And we've been invited to Mongolia to present this to the government of Mongolia. And I was able to pitch this technology to the defense minister of Mongolia. They love the technology so much. But after a while, the defense ministry decided that this technology, it's too good at the moment. So they said we are unable to export it to this country, and we were unable to do any business with it. So I literally had to stop the project, and because the government decided that this is army graded technology. Oh. So actually it was one of the biggest failures. But this was a tipping point in my life, because when I was in Mongolia, I met a local family. Ulaanbaatar is the capital city of Mongolia, and this is one of the most underdeveloped, but one of the most polluted cities on earth, because they are burning coal to generate power, but they are not filtering it at all. So the smoke is literally covering the sky. You can't barely see the sunlight. And when we were visiting the yurts, the tents where the locals are living, we were able to negotiate with them. We had an interpreter on our side, and they were asking, like, why are we here? What technology are we bringing here? And we were explaining, oh, this is a army-grade drone technology. It will help you to protect your borders and to make like surveillance activities. And the father just literally started crying and told me that he doesn't need this. His country doesn't need this technology. They need energy, clean energy. So that's when I started to transition myself and my scope of work into really helping the population and helping to bring these technologies into life.
Can we say that doing exactly like what you described can be the perfect explanation what actually success means for you?
Yes, definitely.
Nothing else, nothing more.
Yes.
Just more like a building a legacy.
Impact. It's not about my name. You know, I'm not on social media. I'm not posting about my lifestyle. I'm not doing it for the fame. I enjoy the game, and I'm enjoying that if I can make impact. This is really my desire.
That's quite interesting, because there are very, how to call it in a good way, like you could find the people who are not chasing fame it's a rare thing.
I like to be different.
Yeah. I mean, right now everyone is chasing everything for fame, right? Even one of the actors, Hollywood actors, saying he's giving an interview and he says like, being an actor is just another way to become famous right now, and it's not about acting and living and like bringing this whole
As
culture.
soon as they enjoy it, and as soon as they sacrifice themselves with the job that they do, I don't see any problem with it. It's just not something that the true meaning of life for me.
What is it then?
You get something, some sort of energy when you're born, and your job is to give back much more. Like throughout your journey, I really believe that gaining knowledge and to use that knowledge to help others is the most important thing you can do. But we all have a different perspective. I believe that there are 8 billion worlds existing on our planet because every person's perspective, it's a different world and a different reality. So in my reality, in my perspective, teaching and learning, it's the only thing that can result into a happy life.
First it was drones.
Yes.
Then you did the crazy stuff with
renewables,
with walls. Yeah. Then you go to solar business.
Yeah.
Then you shift now to financial institution trading and actually the
in
whole
my
blockchain.
head they all interconnect except the drone. It was
Except
just the first trial, but I learned the lesson pretty early.
Yeah.
But the rest, it's all interconnecting because it's all playing a small part, a crucial part of the big picture that I see. That we need resilient climate structures, we need resilient financial systems, and we need an approach that can interconnect these solutions to make the next generation of.
How resilient were you when you were getting rejections over and over again?
I had to keep doing it. My first job, I moved to Canada when I was 18, and I started university there, but I realized that I had to sustain myself. So I've been hired as a door knocker. So I've been knocking on doors all day around, selling water heaters, and that's how I started selling solar panels, by the way. And rejections were part of my game, part of my daily routine. I felt like I have been hired into an army because you just keep knocking the doors and you are being slammed on the face if you get a rejection. But I think everybody has to go through this kind of patterns if they want to be successful entrepreneurs. So rejection is part of the game. You need to accept it, and you need to gain more fuel and more power from it in order to succeed in the right time.
What about friends and family members and their support?
Yeah, it's quite hard because for friends, they're supporting all the time, but you don't really have much time to nurture these relationships. So I've been lucky because many of my friends are somehow interconnected into the business. So while we are having a business meeting, we are also nurturing our friendships. Family-wise, it's been a little turbulent in the last couple of years.
It's because of the business.
Yeah, most of the time, yes. Yeah, it's all about responsibilities. Like a year ago, that was my peak point with all of the ventures that I had. We had more than 200 employees. So you are not just responsible for your family. You are responsible for all of your 200 employees. And this is really something that's playing on a different level for you. And if you are the one who is responsible for everyone, that can really easily take you away from your family.
So being an entrepreneur is not an easy thing.
It's not
right?
an easy thing, for sure. It's like jumping off the cliff and start building an airplane and hope it takes off before you land.
When did you start your journey?
How old? 18. At 18? Yes. At 18. Because I was doing the door knocking also
and
as a
now,
subcontractor.
how old are you?
33.
33.
Yeah, I'm going to turn 34 very soon.
Quite impressive journey, huh?
Yes, it's been a lot of ups and downs. It's part of the game, but I enjoyed every moment of it.
Do you still believe that there is actually like work balance thing in your 20s?
I never worked. I can really state that I never worked in my life. Everything I did was passion. I was passionate about the things that I was doing. Not the door knocking, it was quite a learning curve. But since I founded my first company, I worked 18 hours a day and I never felt that I'm working. It's crazy, but if you find a niche or if you find a purpose, what makes you enthusiastic about the job you are doing, you will never feel like working. And if you are your own boss, nobody is telling you like what time slots you have, what deadlines you got. If it's your own decision, it will not feel like you are working. That's my perspective and my experience.
You mentioned that you were running multiple companies with cumulative 200 people there.
Yes.
Do you personally attended the hiring process of these people?
At the beginning, for sure, the core team. But
what are key go-tos for you when it comes to hiring someone for your company?
Actually, I was always looking for smarter people than me for the core team, because for the specific area, because why would you hire someone who knows less about the part that they have to lead, for example? So I definitely always look for a professionalism and higher experience in that specific niche. And also I was looking for failures. If they have ever failed in their life, ever failed in their career, and how were they able to overcome of these failures? Because without challenges and without being able to adapt to failures and to adapt to challenges, you can never really make it in life. So even if I met someone who had previous companies and now he's trying to get a job, because he was unsuccessful in those companies, I was always looking for why the company went down, what was the reason, what they learned from it. But a person without failures, or a person with a lot of failures but an eager to come back and to do it again, I think I will always lose the second one. Choose the second one.
Choose the second one. Wow. And how long you were taking it? Like, how many people did you hire? What is like a core team for you? First 10
it's
people,
really
20
tiring.
people?
It's really tiring process, because hiring someone, give them the knowledge, and then they open up your competition, or then they go for another job, then they want to have a family, for example. So it's really a tiring process. So I wanted to fully automate this onboarding process from the beginning. I'm very proud of our IT team, the core IT team. I'm working together for more than 6 years now. So for all of the ventures we had, we fully automated the business processes and all the company workflows. So hiring and the HR parts were also part of this system. So evaluation of the applicants and teaching them was all programmed in our own CRM systems. So it was pretty easy to overview the whole system, even when you operate at scale.
Coming back to the prop trading thing, just want to ask a general question. Like, we talked about it, we talked how it's working, and like what exactly FundedHive and TradingHive is trying to achieve with that specific branch of it. But I don't think that like in Europe or in the rest of the world rather than US, there are a lot of people who actually know about it, right?
Yes.
It's not that popular for the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And did you do prop trading by yourself also?
Yes, for sure. I had to go through the failures by myself.
Yeah.
So I really believe in building a company. You need to be the janitor first, and then you teach someone else how to clean the floor, and then you can move on to the next
What
step.
are go-to things that you would suggest someone who want to start learning the prop trading? What are the key like branches?
I think you don't have to start at prop trading. You need to start learning on YouTube. Free online courses are available. I really advise people to be aware of the gurus that they see on social media flexing with the supercars and flexing with the rental things, because this lifestyle is for sure motivational, but most of the times it's not true. They live off the educational course fees that they are selling, not living off the actual success of their trading performance. So I rather advise someone to learn online on YouTube for free. There are tons of medias and lessons and courses available. And once you have a basic understanding of the trading methodology itself, you can onboard with any prop firms who you trust, and you have a free decision to go with the Web2 prop firms or try out our Web3 solution.
That's a good to know, because maybe I'll also start learning.
Yeah. If you wait, as I told you that the TradingHive Group is rolling out different ventures. TradingHive is coming soon. TradingHive will be a global free educational platform translated into 27 different languages to make trading more accessible for everyone.
Now the only way to learn the trading, like the most like successful way of trading, I do believe that like it's same as engineering or any other thing. You should go to it, like you should learn, but you should also experiment a lot. But in case of trading, the experiments that you're gonna do is directly connected to your wallet and your funds.
Yes. That's why demo trading is the best you can do, because if you download these platforms, you can open a demo account and then you can start experimenting with it. You have to have the psychology part ready, right? Because first you need to learn your emotions. Because if you can't control your emotions, the fear of missing out, like trading is about to cut your losses and let your profits run. That's the biggest lesson I can give you. But we all do the different, the opposite, right? Because when we see losses, we are hoping that our price is going to reverse, and we let the losses run. And once we see a little profit, or finally I'm in profit, I'm closing down the position. So we're actually doing the opposite of what you should do. You need to limit your losses, and once you are in profits, you can have different multiple take profit levels, but you need to let your profits run. Otherwise, the game is going to be against you.
Yeah, if FOMO is what's driving you, you should stop and reconsider, right?
Yes, definitely. And the other biggest part, what you can focus on, once you have the first technology ready and you master liquidity on the market, you will be making it for sure. Liquidity means that on the charts, there are obvious trading patterns designed for you by the central banks and by the liquidity providers to give you the feeling that your edge, what can be like pattern trading, what can be intraday trading, what can be position trading, what can be supply and demand trading, what can be swing trading, a lot of other solutions and strategies out there. And somehow the chart is providing daily good entry pattern for almost every different strategy. But you have to see through it. And you have to see through that these structure patterns of a lot of break of structures and the trend continues into one direction. The only purpose is to build liquidity. Liquidity means that a lot of traders, they are going to enter when the price chart is returning to an obvious position. They enter there and they are waiting for the trend to continue. But actually, it was just building liquidity throughout the day. And there is going to be a one sharp movement that will mitigate all the liquidity, that will take out the stop losses. So liquidity means where the stop losses are for millions of traders. So that's how the central banks and the big institutions are making money, showing you a price chart, what can provide you a great entry requirement. But at the end, you are in the losing part of the game. So once you master liquidity and once you see through the obvious price charts, then you can really find your edge on the market and trade with the institutional money flow.
And how much someone should spend daily basis to actually get into the pace and actually do something? Based on your experiment.
Yeah, I spent like 10 hours a day when I transitioned, because I was able to hire like managers and CEOs to my previous companies. So I freed up like all my free time and I dedicated like 10 hours a day for at least a year.
You're doing the same thing now?
Trading?
No. in terms of capacity of hours that you're spending to your businesses?
Yes, definitely. We are growing very fast.
10 hours?
Minimum. That's the bare minimum, but it's probably more because we don't really have weekends. We are laughing when people are talking about it's good that we have weekends, but we don't really have weekends. We are control of our own time, but we don't count as weekends that we take the day off and not working at all. Sometimes for sure we need it, but our body will give us
How long
signal.
are you doing this?
Since I started.
Since 18?
Since 18, for sure.
No weekends, no crazy parties.
For sure. Sometimes I took weekends off and good vacations because sometimes, so most of the times, the greatest ideas I got when I'm away from the place that I'm working from, because I can think outside the box and I can recharge myself.
Yeah, but it's not like you're working quote unquote 3 hours day, then you're riding your Lambo, going to yachts, etc., etc. It's not like that.
I was really successful 5-8 years ago or so. So all the lavish lifestyle, I've been through it, and I realized that I have multiple cars. I have supercars also, but doesn't really make me joy anymore. Because when you realize that how much work you had to invest into get to the point to buy it, you are considering driving it anymore. So I'm very happy when I see young people driving around with supercars. Probably they made the money from a different source or from their parents. I think it's a great way to enjoy things. But once you put in the hard work and you realize how much sacrifice you had to get in order to reach the point to buy these items, you realize the value is not laying in these kind of things.
Yeah, it's more like a self-discipline that you should also have when it comes to all of this. And when
you're also changing, so
because you know the value of the item that you bought. Doesn't matter if it's a supercar or something else.
But
you
as
know
an
the
engineering
value, right?
mind, I'm valuing the engineering effort they were putting into these kind of machines, and I'm a petrol head, and I can be, because in my career we manufactured more than 1 million solar panels. So even if I would fly private jets from now until the end of my life, I could never release more CO2 to the atmosphere than my solar panels are going to take away from it. So
really?
Yes, definitely. Like I can even travel to space every year if I want. I calculated like 1 million solar panels manufactured up to date, and the estimated lifespan of these solar panels are 30 years. So, and we are still manufacturing these panels. So I really contributed to tackle climate change as much as I could.
So if you had to advise someone from their 20s, early 20s, 30s even, who are failing a lot, and they right now in a position of fail of the business or their entrepreneurship journey, what will it be? What advice would you give them?
They need to go back of the reason why they had to experience failure. Because when we are in the darkest moment, sometimes we are unable to see the big picture. But I'm guaranteeing you and everyone else that after a while, you will recognize the pattern that you had to change or you had to learn in order to give you the right curve of the success for the next time when you try it. So failure is always happening for a reason. It's always teaching us something. But we have to be humble enough to dig down to realize what was the reason we had to go through these lessons. And to never give up. This is like everyone's advice, but it's truly the game's key to the game, to never give up. Because one failure, and if you give up, someone else is going to come and solve this issue. And if they are disciplined enough, they will succeed. So if you never give up, for sure you will succeed in this game.
Do you have any data regarding the gender? How many male or female are actually in prop trading?
The female traders are very limited. There are some influencers out there, and we really one of our funding partners are having this conversation together, and we really want to have some kind of contest for female traders, because I think I think they can be even better, because how women can control their behaviors compared to our manly approach.
Yeah.
I think they can be even better traders.
Women are the
than we
best snipers in the armies.
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
I can imagine that. So I can really encourage all the women out there who are looking into like a side hustle, because trading is really something that can be a long-term investment for them, like learning-wise, but after it will pay off for many years.
At your opinion, what is the problem that males are basically dominating the trading industry rather than female? Is it somehow related with the whole gambling situation? Because when it comes to gambling, like 95% is actually males.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somehow
And
it's
it's
coming
somehow
from
probably
West.
related with also the pressure of success that men should have.
Mhm. Sometimes I feel like man needs to provide and woman needs to take care of the family. And this is like the stereotype that we have for
Yeah.
quite a long time. But this is also shifting. And with this new approach and new possibilities, for example, in the trading world, where you don't even have to have the capital because prop firms are providing you the capital, you just need to focus on the actual learning materials and to learn the psychology, the technical analysis and execution, the fundamentals of the trading side. I think everybody have the fair chance to succeed in this. And I really encourage every woman to look into trading, because it's a really nice side hustle. And if you can master the skills, you can live off it for sure.
If you don't have enough excess to invest in TradingHive,
Yeah.
and you have to go somewhere else to even for like that many small, like very small cap that you need, for example, to buy the challenges,
Yeah.
right? To challenge, then get your funds back.
Yes.
What would you suggest? Like go for a McDonald's or do like crypto trading?
Crypto trading without capital, it's also something that will not sustain you for a long time. So
Just to
trading,
get like enough funds to jump up and come to the prop trading.
yeah, I think definitely you need to struggle a little bit somewhere else to get used to. Like if you are just starting out, you need to have a job first. You need to learn how the economy works. You need to learn how to be your own boss. And this will never happen if you are skipping and you're only coming out of a college and you start a company. This is really hard. I think everybody needs to like struggle a little bit, work at McDonald's, work at like wrong or like bad jobs to get the power from it, to then move forward and to motivate yourself in order to succeed in this.
It's more like a toxic fuel that you need to boost up yourself.
Definitely.
Right?
It worked for me. I told
Yeah,
you
for me
for
also.
many years. Yeah.
It's working drastically.
Yes.
Honestly,
yes,
like
yes.
it's more like you're becoming some sort of injured in a more mental way, and you're doing it not just because it's something that it pops up on your head,
Yep.
but you're going over the whole struggles, and you're actually trying to show yourself even that you can actually capable of doing
Yes.
it.
Yes,
And
yes,
it's
yes.
some sort of a toxic fuel thing that boosting you.
I believe it's working, 100%.
Yeah, me too. But when you're going back to the whole beehive structure, beehive also means that there is partnership, there is altruism in the first place, and you're tackling it and covering it by basically enforcing the law system in a blockchain level, in a smart contract level, where everything is transparent,
Yes.
right? And so that's the main goal of the whole blockchain integration in the first place.
Yes. The transparency is the key factor, because in this retail prop trading and also for the CFD brokerage side, there is no transparency at all. So you don't see, even when you are talking about, just forget about prop trading, just think about the CFD brokerage side. You have the money, you gained it from different sources, and you are a professional trader. So you are going to a CFD broker because you can't execute your trades by yourself. You need a brokerage company who is actually collecting a lot of retail traders and putting positions, bulk positions on the market through their prime liquidity providers. So you need the CFD brokerage companies to open an account for you. And as I told you, you need big capital in trading. So let's say you have $500,000. So you deposit $500,000 to a CFD brokerage company who you never really met the CEO. You don't know anything about the company, and they have a license in different jurisdictions. And once you deposit the money, it's gone. So you don't know where is it. You can't track it. You don't know if they executed you into A book or B book, because when they are executing your trades, it's their decision if their risk management or dealing desk is deciding that your trades are going to B book or A book. If they B book it, that means you might be seeing a loss on your end in the trading platform, but actually your money was never moving outside the brokerage bank account, was never reaching the market. It was just B booked. That means the company was betting against you. And I think it's really bad, because this is the goal should be and the interest should be into the same direction. Because if the company is betting against you, they will do little tweaks on the price feed to make you fail even bigger. So then they keep all the money, because then you think you lost it on the market, but actually it was a B-booked trade and all the money was kept by the broker. So they earn much more money on the B-booking than they earn on the spreads, on the markups that we disclosed before. So transparency is the key factor in this. And I think companies who are investing into making their business structure more transparent, they will be the winners in the end of the game.
How disruptive AI can be in this situation?
AI on the technical analysis side can be a really helpful tool, but I don't believe that AI itself can execute trades at a level that can be 100% profitable. So like trading is based on supply and demand. So supply and demand must match. So there is no trade that can execute without a buyer meeting an actual seller. So since the market dynamics are always changing based on supply and demand, AI can influence it, but can't be completely changing this game, because it's always about the market dynamics. And the market dynamics are based on the people who are actually trading.
So the place for AI is...
It's good for the technical analysis. I see a great place for AI to provide great tools for technical analysis. We are also developing our algorithms about providing technical analysis for traders, because in order to do proper technical analysis, you have to analyze markets for all different time frames. So the same Euro USD price chart you will be able to see at a 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, weekly, monthly charts. So that means that each of these charts are representing one candle, represent that specific time frame. So in order to do a top-down analysis, that means you are analyzing the markets from the higher time frames to the smaller time frames. It consumes a lot of time and a lot of effort. That's why you see traders with 5 screens in front of them, because probably they are trading one single pair, but they have different time frames open, because one change on a 4-hour time frame can make the whole different technical analysis result on the smaller ones. So AI can really help to mitigate and to shrink down these efforts that you are investing into daily to the technical analysis part, so you can purely focus on the execution of your trades.
What message do you have for traders who are actually looking for like fair and transparent funding model?
Yeah, besides, don't give up. We are coming up with the
besides
solutions.
coming to TradingHive and actually like joining it. But I believe there is some sort of KYC process for them.
KYC for sure is required, just to make sure that even later, if the regulatory regulations are rolling out, that we can comply. even from day one, that we are not supporting any parties that were involved into money laundering or anything else. So we do have a KYC process for funded traders before they get their first automated payout. But once they pass the KYC, we enable them into the smart contract, and we can no more mitigate their payouts. So we wrote a smart contract in a way that even if I'm not the CEO anymore of the company, a new CEO comes who wants to use the system in a different way, they're unable to do that because the smart contract is written in a way that has automated payouts. So once you get into the funded stage, no one can stop your payouts. No one can ban your payouts. So the message I would like to deliver to all of the traders listening out there is that it's been a rough couple years about this prop firm journey, and I believe that FundedHive is delivering the solution that they need in order to succeed in their trading journey.
Well, I mean, thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Quite interesting. I learned a lot about prop trading. But yeah, it was quite interesting, and like this is a very good way of integrating the blockchain part, because when it comes to blockchain, it's not about the cryptocurrencies. Especially in this case, you're basically using technology.
Yes.
And technology is there to make sure that there is a transparency and there is actually a sustainable hive. Even in this scenario,
Yes.
it was quite good quoting that it's more like a queen bee who is taking care of all bees, that everyone has their own tires and roles and working in a specific way.
We can learn a lot from this small insect. We just have to be humble enough to start analyzing their behavior and societal structure. And I think we can learn a lot from them. So let's see how FundedHive will succeed in the prop firm industry. We do our best to make sure that all the traders are satisfied who are joining our mission. And our Discord server is on fire. There are a lot of traders coming up with a lot of great responses and feedback. So I encourage anyone watching it, if they want to learn more, just join our Discord channel. We have the best mods available on the planet. They are really helpful, supportive to the community, and we are building the next level of prop trading.
Amen.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for
coming.
all the guidance in the Web3 space.
Oh, absolutely.
You are amazing. Thank you so much.
Pleasure, brother.
My pleasure too.